I've been getting a lot of requests over the past few years to participate in Inktober. Now, I've always shied away from it, particularly because I can't really commit to doing the full challenge. But that being said, today I'm going to do an ink challenge for Inktober. I'm going to follow the Inktober rules, I'm going to follow the themes, and I'm going to make it really intense. G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza and I can already hear what you're saying. You're saying, excuses, just do Inktober properly. The reality is I actually can't participate in it for a number of reasons. The two main ones being time. I really struggle to fit everything in that I'm currently doing, so to add a challenge on top of that for a daily something like this would be very difficult. And two, if I actually did it and used it to create content for my channel, I feel like I would isolate people who don't participate in Inktober. That being said, I love it. I love the premise of Inktober. I love seeing everyone's Inktober posts and artwork, and I see it pop up all the time, especially during October. Well, I mean, mainly during October. So let's have a quick look at these rules. Number one, make a drawing in ink. Please note in the brackets it says you can draw with pencil first. Before all you militant people jump in to tell me off for using a pencil when I start off my drawing today. Number two, post it online. That's pretty easy because you're watching this. Number three, hashtag it. Doesn't really work on YouTube, but I can do that on Twitter and Instagram, so give that a tick. And number four, repeat. That's the thing I struggle with. Now there is the note underneath, of course, clarifying that you can do it daily or half marathon style every other day, or you can post once a week. Now I'm gonna be honest, my schedule at the moment is ridiculous, so I can't even really do the once a week thing, but I don't want to disappoint you and I want to participate in whatever way I can. So I'm gonna do one challenge, but I'm gonna try and provide the basic level of intensity as if I had done this challenge for a month. So on inktober.com you can see all this information, but there is an official 2016 prompt list with 31 different words or themes that you can take for whichever day it is in October/Inktober and create your artwork. So how I've prepared to participate in Inktober is in my Arty Games app, I've created a custom generator list. I've called the list Inktober, as you might have guessed, and inside this list are all 31 of the suggested prompts from the website. In the Arty Games app, aside from having the potential to play color challenges, character challenges, and other different games, you can create your own custom random list. So after putting all of those 31 things in, I can hit go and it will give me any one of them at random and cycle through generations of them. But because I want this to really be a challenge and because I can only participate in Inktober in this one video, I'm gonna pretend I've participated once a week for the 4 weeks of October. Week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. And I'm gonna have this random generator pick 4 of the 31 prompts, and I'm going to combine them into one inked piece. So this is the moment of truth. I'm gonna find out what of the 4 prompts I will be following to create my piece. I'm actually really nervous. You ready? Battle, burn, 1 dozen, and creepy. Oh good, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna say I'm pretty wrapped with this combination. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. I'm gonna start off by introducing you to my weapons of choice. First and foremost, we have my pencil. This is just a Pentel P205 mechanical pencil. I'll be using that to sketch and of course just my eraser. I also have an array of micron inking pens. These are like fine liners that get very fine when I need them. The thickest of which is a 0.8 and the thinnest of which is a 0.05. I'm not 100% sure when I'll need that or if I'll need that, but it's there if I do. I also have a Pentel pocket brush. This thing is a very nifty little thing, but it can be a little textured at times, so I tend to try and draw with it nice and slowly to get a really crisp line. And this is where things are going to potentially get a little bit messy because I've never used this stuff before. Oh, look, even the cap's on. This is Black India ink, and I have a couple of paint brushes ranging from the very thick, there you go, I'm not 100% sure when I'll need that or if I'll need that, but again, it's there if I do, to the medium, to the very thin. So there's no time like the present. I am ready to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Wish me luck. So my intention is to take these 4 prompts and put them together in a bit of an action shot of 12 warriors getting ready for battle. And each of these warriors is burnt and creepy looking, but also sort of epic and hopefully looks different and interesting in their own way. I've given them all a different pose, and I'm trying to create a bit of an interesting aesthetic using the silhouettes of the characters, and also really showcasing that they each have a different weapon and a different battle style. Once I've finished my really rough construction sketching, I go through and start to refine some of the details. So obviously I began with just some really simple shapes and poses just to see how things look and work together. And once I was happy with that, I can go through and really create the personalities of each of these characters. And you can see it's a pretty organic process. Sometimes I add or take away as I go just to see what works. And you know, some things I keep, some things I get rid of. But in the end, I really like the direction that this is going in. All of these characters looking almost ghoul-like, burnt undead warriors. One of my personal favourites is that beast in the back with saliva bursting out of his roaring mouth. So I have here my finished pencil drawing. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I think all the characters look pretty cool in my humble, biased opinion. But I've attempted to have them all look sort of unique in their own little warrior way, wielding a different weapon, holding a different sort of expression and costume. But they're all burnt, creepy characters, and I'm also hoping to enhance that in different ways through the inking process for each of the characters. Now this is going to be a pretty detailed piece because the drawings are very small compared to you know, just my hand and the piece of paper as a whole. So I'm actually going to probably mostly lean on my Micron fine liner pens, but I'm going to get started on the inking, starting off with just the fine liners, and then I'm going to go through with the brushes later and just add some depth in areas and thicken things out a bit. Because it's been so long since I've just jumped in and created a traditional ink piece on paper, I thought I'd just approach one section, that being the head of the central figure, and just shade it to completion and then use that general approach for the rest of the piece. But as I went forward, rather than actually incrementally finishing one character and part at a time, I actually went through and did all of the basic anatomy and outlines for all the figures and forms first, with the intention to come back later and add any of the cross-shading details and solid black shadows that I might need. I was careful to make sure that my lines were nice and clean, and to use my ruler for any of the straight objects and weapons in particular. The difficult thing with a piece like this, where all of the shading is the same and the characters all have a lot of detail, is of course making them all stand out from one another. So that's where the next phase creates the biggest difference. At first I started doing cross-hatching first and then adding solid black shadow, but then it became pretty apparent to me that adding the solid black shadow first was going to be the easiest way to go forward with this, to really identify the areas that are thickly drenched in darkness. The other reason it's helpful is it also refines and defines the silhouette of all of the characters, which is one of the most useful ways to make them stand out from one another. So I actually also went around all of the silhouettes of the character with a slightly thicker marker just to make sure they all stood out slightly from each other. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the result of my ink challenge for Inktober. I haven't done like a solid black and white inked image in a very long time, and I was worried about how this would turn out, but I'm very happy with this. This is really cool. It was a huge amount of fun. I encourage anyone who wants to work on their inking or play around with different techniques and join in the festivities of Inktober, check out inktober.com and find your own prompts and have a go yourself. And of course, if you're interested, you can get Arty Games. I'll put the link in the description, which is my app. It's on iOS and Android and PC, which you can use to generate your own random generated prompts, or use our character generator and other things and games in the app itself. So as you can tell from those 4 prompts, burn, battle, 1 dozen, and creepy, I created a depiction of 1 dozen creepy, burned battle warriors, all part of the one band of warriors, but about to head into battle together. And I really wanted each of them to have a unique aesthetic and a unique look and combat style to them, and I feel like I've accomplished that. So I had so much fun. Make sure to subscribe and like if you haven't, and share this video with some of your Inktober friends. That's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for new content every week. If you want to support my work and get some goodies for yourself, head over to my store for archives, ebooks, digital brushes, video courses, and more. If you enjoyed this video, here's a link to another video you might like from this channel. And if you want even more, make sure to check out all my behind the scenes action on my vlog channel, Daily Jazza. Draw with Jazza is proudly sponsored by Adobe. Join the Creative Cloud today and get loads of incredible creative tools like Photoshop, Animate, Premiere Pro, and other apps for your computer or mobile device. That's it for now. Thanks for joining the arty party, and until next time, I'll see you later.